Hello there. Here's a kick-ass way of expanding your martial arts knowledge. And it's really simple. Just look for similarities. Here's what I mean. Let's start with the famous quote by Professor Remy Presas. It is all the same. But what did he mean when he said that? What he meant by that quote was, from my perspective, is there was much more in common between martial arts than there were differences. And if you could look for the commonalities and similarities between martial arts, you can expand your knowledge considerably. If you focus on differences between martial arts, you're going to miss out on the possibilities, on the expansion of your knowledge. So here's an example. Many karate folks know P9 Godan, or number 5. Okay, there is a move in there that looks like this move. We shoot your hand in there. That's reverse Sinawali. And if you know reverse Sinawali boxing, oh my gosh, that opens up a whole world of possibilities as to how you can interpret that move in that Pinan kata. Okay, so how did Professor come on this? This is one of the questions I would have liked to have asked him if he were still around today. How did you get into this, making the connection between art, philosophy? Who influenced you? What guided you down this path? All right. So this ability to see connections and similarities between martial arts influence numerous people, including myself, because once you start seeing the similarities, you can start seeing different applications, different counters, different possibilities. If you focus on the differences, you don't get to see that, all right? So when he started teaching seminars back in the 70s and 80s and continued on to the 1990s, a good number of people who went to the Modern Art seminars were from Japanese karate backgrounds. Many of them were frustrated students. Frustrated because they had hit a dead end in their training, particularly in the area of kata. They were going through kata, they didn't know what the applications were. And this is where Professor Presas, through his Big Three seminars with George Stillman and Professor Wally J, had a huge influence on those students. I remember one person telling me of his experience at a Michigan camp when Professor announced that they were going to go through the applications of the modern Arnis Anyos. And he took a look around the room and said, applications? What does he mean by applications? Because this guy had no experience with learning applications from kata. And so Professor was demonstrating applications from one of the Anyos, and it blew him away. So this same guy told me, I learned more about karate from a Filipino grandmaster than anybody else put together. That's a pretty telling statement, isn't it? All right. So my advice to those who practice modern arts or other martial arts, look for the similarities, look for the commonalities. Think about the quote, it's all the same. And this will open up a whole world for you. Honest to God, this is what Master Chalk, Master Ken, and Master Gabi keeps telling their students. It's all the same. I took Wing Chun here in the Toronto area for a very short period of time. And I saw a fair bit of similarities between the Wing Chun movements and the movements of modern arts. And I wish I had continued it, but things got in the way, including distance. And my Sifu closed the school I hope to be able to take up Wing Chun again one of these days. But wow, there were a lot of similarities. I was looking for similarities instead of focusing on the differences between modern Chinese and Wing Chun. That's just one example. So my advice to you is if you want to expand your knowledge base, look for the similarities. It's all the same. Okay, what do you think? Please comment in the comment box down below. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of future videos. Have a good night. It's all the same.